Welcome back, everybody. It's crazy to think, but tens of thousands of U.S. veterans face housing insecurity. These are men and women who have stepped up for our country, now being left behind. Our next guests have come up with a model to change all that by, in part, creating villages of tiny homes nationwide. It's incredibly cool, and that makes them rad humans. All right, from Veterans Community Project, everybody welcome co-founders Bryan and Brandonn. Give it up. Thank you so much, first of all, for your service, both of you. We really appreciate it. And also for the service that you're doing for yourselves, like all your brothers, all your sisters, you know, that have literally sacrificed so much and people forget. Thank you so much. It's so important.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. You both had different experiences, though, right? After being discharged, right?
That's correct. Yes. So, little background on me, I was in the Marine Corps 2001, 2006, deployed to Iraq a couple times in that, during that period. And after I got out, like so many other people, I just had my own transition issues. Now, there was nothing traumatically wrong, no visible injuries and things like that, but you still have a hard time transitioning. I hit a low point in my life. Luckily for me, somebody gave me a hand up. Fast forward, I'd gotten my master's degree, my law degree, like kind of these great things, these accomplishments. And I remember a very specific moment, like I'm sitting down to write the commencement speech for our law school graduation, right? And I go, man, step left, step right, completely different person. I want to do something to give back to other people who maybe didn't get that same hand up.
Yeah.
So that's really what sent me down.
That didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah, I was in the Army, of course, the best branch. That's what everybody says, right? But no, was in the Army. I found that brotherhood. I found that family, a lot of things that I was longing for, especially in high school, right? Deployed to Afghanistan in 2011 and sustained some injuries in 2011, got medically retired in 2013. Through that process, really struggled. I missed my family, right? When I kind of came home, I hate to say my parents aren't my family, but I missed that brotherhood and then contemplated on taking my own life. Kind of through that process, I really felt behind, I left behind, which led me into VCP of I promised to never leave another veteran behind. And because I remember what that felt. Again, I still remember just sitting there, unfortunately with that gun in my hand and deciding like this is gonna be the night. And I promised, again, no other veteran will feel that way. And that's what led me into VCP and helping out tons of veterans. So.
Yeah. Man, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, but what a beautiful thing to come from such a tragedy. Before the community project, though, you started another nonprofit, right?
Yes, I had started a nonprofit that focused on getting veterans free legal services. And it was through that work that like I started interacting with a lot of low-income homeless veterans, right? And I was just like so many other people, like, I know veteran homelessness is an issue. I know veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, but I don't really know why. What are the systematic barriers? What are the individual challenges? Like,
What's the root cause? Why is it all,
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? I want to dig in there and understand that. And that's what really led me to like gaining the interest in it. And during that time, linked up with a handful of other guys. We're all from Kansas City. We said, we took a look at the available resources and programs for veterans and said like, hey, as veterans, those aren't up to the standard that we want for other veterans. That's not what I would want for somebody that served with me. That's not the quality, the dignity, whatever it looks like.
How would you want to be treated? Yeah.
Exactly, right? So we all came together with that shared belief, sat down, challenged ourselves, said, let's act like the rules don't apply. Let's just brainstorm what we think the best possible outcome would be. And that's how we conceptualized Veterans Community Project, which is you previously mentioned, but our communities of tiny homes, all transitional housing for homeless veterans, and just as, if not more important, we provide on-site wraparound case management, get people back on their feet, and then find them a long-term permanent housing solution.
You offer a lot more than that. Like, there's like a dentist on site, a veteran clinic on site. There's other things that are life things that you need, and it builds this kind of community, which I think is important because you're not isolated and alone in your thoughts, right?
Right.
Like, you build that community along with it, right?
Yes.
It's a whole network of people.
Absolutely. Any given, usually Fridays, Thursdays, you name it, you go down there, literally you'll see kids riding bikes, them having barbecue and a lot of that. So people automatically assume it's, oh, these tiny houses, it's an individual veteran. That's not the case. There's families there, you name it, right? So it's really reuniting them with kids or pets that you name it. You know, on-site services, we have a healthcare clinic, we have a dental care clinic, we have a veterinary clinic out of there. It's really the wraparound services that make, you know, these individuals be successful. They don't pay rent. They don't pay utilities. Their job is to contribute into their case management, right? What makes it so big and so successful, it's a 8-to-1, 10-to-1 case management ratio, and the program is built around the individual's needs, right? It's not a one-size-fits-all, mentality. It's really catered to the individual's needs. Hey, were you homeless due to a money management issue? Were you homeless due to a network of support issue? We really focus on those network of supports with the housing index and really focus on what made the individuals homeless, and that's why we have the 85% successful transition rate. That's unheard of in housing, and really it's attributed to building program around the individual's needs. We've had individuals come out of our program and go to college. Like, that's what their goal is. Hey, I want to go to college. I want to take a deep breath. We've had individuals get degrees out of there. We've had individuals say, you know what, I just want to live by a van down by the river. Success is so different between the individual veteran, and that's what we're about, is building a success around what their definition of success is.
It was actually impossible to not think about Chris Farley when you said that.
I was like, did you just work with Chris Farley?
Batman
in a little coat. So
Careful,
funny.
I'm gonna jump up and break the table.
Oh my God. Our next guest moved into one of those homes a few years ago. Let's welcome Joann, everybody. Thank you so much for your service. First of all, thank you so much for your service.
It was my honor.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And tell us about your military history and I don't know, what was it like when you got out?
I was in from 76 to 83, Air Force, which is the best.
That's why you're so good at sitting down?
You always came to Excel. My son's a Marine, so,
Fantastic man.
we go back and forth about that.
Yeah.
But in my job, I was a mechanic on the flight line.
Yeah.
My first assignment was Japan, and I was the first female in the shop.
That could not have been easy.
There's times to be first, there's times not to be first.
Yeah, that couldn't have been easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to prove yourself, because there were 4 more females coming. And I knew that if I didn't do right, it would reflect on them. That's just the way it is.
The weight of that, wow.
Well, but it's true. And everybody in the military, that you have to pull your weight, you have to prove yourself. But the females, especially then on, that kind of job, even more so.
Yeah.
So it was, and then I was also stationed in Las Vegas and England.
Okay.
So I had really good assignments.
What was it like when you got out?
Well, the job situation wasn't really good. I didn't apply for mechanics jobs because they would have just laughed me out, But I would go in to apply for a job, and their first thing would be, how fast can you type? Well, I'm not here to type.
Yeah. So it was just hard to kind of find your place.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
It was. And finally, plus it's just survival. I just wanted to make a living for me and my son.
Yeah.
We want to take care of ourselves. And so it involved 2 jobs for the most part. But it takes 2 incomes to survive anyway. So there was one person to provide 2 incomes.
How did you connect with Veterans Community Project? How did that come about?
Oh, well, I found myself in just not a good living situation at all. And I needed to get out. And my niece had done work for them. She's a stylist, a hairstylist. And she said, let me see if I can help you out. And so she actually went with me for my first interview. And then I had another interview. And I was on my way home from the second interview in the back of an Uber. And they called and said, you've been accepted, you're moving next week. And it was like, I was screaming and hollering in the back seat and dancing around. The Uber driver was like, what, are you okay? What's going on? Yeah, and then moving day was just amazing. You can't believe, you just walk in and they say, this is your home. And it's 240 square feet. You have a kitchen, you have a bathroom, you have a bed, a TV, a recliner, a table, and it's yours. And just here, breathe.
Yeah.
Just, you're gonna live here until it's sorted out.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. It's like being given a gift.
For sure.
It was, and I get weepy when I think about it. But it is, because, then you go to your case manager to figure things out, and you make your plan of what you want to accomplish. They just tell you, what do you need? What is it you want to accomplish? We'll do whatever we can. What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
They got me mental health assistance. I needed it. I wasn't in a good place mentally. And you can't make rational decisions if you're not. I mean, you just
For anyone,
can't.
yeah.
Yeah, nobody can. And so I got that, and we just, it was just wonderful.
Life-changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave you the help to get there. Yeah. You want to say anything to Bryan and Brandonn?
Well, these two know, because I tell them every time I see them, you guys changed my life. And I know I did the work, I
Yes,
know
you did.
that, but I couldn't have done it, and you made me aware of things that I had no idea about before.
I have to brag about you. You were literally the matriarch of the community. She's out changing the world now. I mean,
Yeah,
truly,
okay.
truly, she's out changing the
She
world
is
now. And
setting an example.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
They always blow smoke up my ass.
They,
They do it all the time.
No, let them. So wait, this is now national, right?
It is. When we started this, we had no concept of doing anything other than Kansas City, right? We started this with literally the money in our pockets. We quit our full-time jobs, went all in, just, we're gonna try to do this in Kansas City. But it turns out, you know, this issue exists in every city, every community in the United States. So with the success rate we were having and things like that, we just started getting overrun with other cities, communities reaching out to us and saying, could you bring this here? Would you think about this? And we hadn't, right? But we realized that we had an ability to help. And, you know, as veterans, I think we felt like that conferred upon us a duty to try. So we undertook national expansion, you know, a number of years ago, but now we've expanded out from Kansas City to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Longmont, Colorado, St. Louis, Missouri, more recently Milwaukee, Phoenix, Arizona, and there are hopefully a few more in the tube. You know, fact of the matter is we're in a great position because the demand for our services is higher than our capacity.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to work and work and work and grow as much as we can.
Yeah. Well, our friends at 84 Lumber are proud to honor, hire, and champion our nation's military veterans. In support of your organization's mission and the veterans you serve, 84 Lumber is proud to donate $10,000 just to help out. And I love what you're doing. I think it's so important. I'm going to go on, I'm going to read the newsletters, but this was as much of an impact for me, and I'm going to donate $10,000 as well. And I'd love to meet up at some point and help build. I think that would be very cool.
I'd love to have you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
what you're doing. Thank you for being such a light to so many people, and you can really change the trajectory of your life at any point in time. It's a beautiful thing.
You can.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving the platform.
Oh my God, absolutely. Yeah. This is amazing.